Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. It's time for the finals over in Mexico, Sweden, and in Switzerland for us today. As always, we're going to go through each and every one of these matches that we've got. Be sure to get your comments in with your predictions. Anything that I'm going for personally will be in that pinned comment. If you want to have a look at that, you're more than welcome to. Like the video, if you'd be so kind, get yourself subscribed to the channel. If you're not already, we do continue to grow each and every day. Get yourself involved. You can support the channel if you want to. Links in the pinned comment. You can hit the thanks under the video. It's entirely up to you. And now that's out the way, we'll waste no more time with it. First things first, how did we find the semi-finals? Some decent games, were they not? Had a nice little plus money winner. El Shapo, Alexander Bublik, I'll take that. Not gonna brag about it too much. It really was as easy as it looked yesterday, was it not? See if we can finish strong today in the finals. But let me know, did you win? Did you lose? Did you just come close? Very well then, folks. Another week in the bag, but there is most certainly no rest for us. We've got 3 more tournaments tomorrow: Croatia, Austria, and Washington. Exciting times, fantastic times to be a fan of the game, I'll tell you that. But first off, over in Mexico for us, we've got Alexander Kovacevic and El Shapo. Now, let me be the first to say, although probably not the final we all would have expected at the start of the tournament, most definitely the final we all well and truly deserve. These two have been fantastic all week. I've been really impressed with Denis Shapovalov. He's playing just like he was earlier on in the season. Same for Kovacevic too, very reminiscent of what these were doing at the start of the year, and they were both on fire too. Funnily enough, this is almost the same for Kovacevic. You remember he beat Rublev in the semis last time, and then he bumped into Felix, didn't quite have the minerals on the day. Now he plays another Canadian in another final. How's he going to get on? We shall see. We certainly will. If you've been more impressed with, look, the Kovacevic game against Rublev, brilliant performance, but Rublev does this. He does this, don't he? I mean, he sort of just let it slip through his fingers right at the very end. Decent performance from the American. Just deserved the win. You can't say he didn't. El Shapo has just been beasting everyone. He's been slapping the shit out of everybody. Govinanda, Tristan Schoolkate, even Adam Walton. You can't do nothing. You can't play against the pace of this version of El Shapo. We've seen it over in, was it Dallas? I think it was. It was one of them tournaments. We've seen it earlier on when he took that title. This is the exact same. He's an absolute fucking menace to play against. Usually when he's playing like this, the only people that are going to beat him, apart from the best, like we said, is himself. More often than not, he's going to beat himself, and although he has been playing good, there's always a slight danger with El Shapo, no matter how good he plays. We've seen it before. Look how good he's been in the first 3 games. There is a very, very slight chance. I don't want to really be that one to say it, but there's always a slight chance he could come out today and play absolutely nothing like what we've seen prior to the final. But I'd like to hope not. I'm very, very hopeful for El Shapo in this one. Both of them are playing solid. I think you don't need me to tell you El Shapo has probably operated at a slightly higher level than the American. I'd have to go with him. I've currently got El Shapo around 1.3, 1.35. It's more or less in between what we were getting him all week, is it not? I don't mind it as a parlay piece. It is a little bit steep. It's probably on the steeper side of the parlay pieces, I will admit. But I think he takes this one. I do. I think he takes this one. I think Shapo would have beat Rublev, probably. Just think if this was the final with Rublev and Rublev would have won. I don't know. It's probably irrelevant now, and it doesn't really matter. It's tough to say. I think Kovacevic, like I said in the last one, wouldn't be surprised if he kept it close. Probably didn't expect him to win straight up with full confidence, but he went ahead and did that. Fair play to him. If you can get 3.5, once again, with Kovacevic, I would not call you crazy for having a little flutter on that. Ultimately, I do think Denis Shapovalov will win this one. I think he has to. This is going to be the best one, I think, the entire day. Both of them with the one-handed backhand as well. This is going to be a fucking sight to behold, I would imagine. You pick your poison, folks. You pick your poison. There's nothing to suggest you could really go against any one of these with full conviction. Like Kovacevic at that price, 3.4, 3.5. It's tempting. That's very, very tempting if you were having a go today, I'll admit. But I think Shapo is just a different monster. He's a different beast, man. He really is. He's very, very ferocious, and he's been very hot this week. I'll give him that. Very hot, very powerful. It's blistering pace. You can't do anything with it. The pace is electric from the Canadian. I think Kovacevic may have a little bit of difficulty dealing with this one today. I think El Shapo at 1.35 to 1.4, if you can get it, would be the piece to stick in your parlay today. And then over in Sweden, we've got Luciano Darderi and Jesper de Jong. First off, I mean, tip of the cap to Jesper de Jong, folks. I mean, I didn't really expect him to get to the final. I didn't expect him to get this far, never mind the final. But here he stands, and you cannot say he does not deserve to be here. He's played really good. Easy match, first round, Vic Capriva, straight sets after that. Talent Greek sport, probably the most impressive one on paper out of the lot anyway in the quarterfinals. And then Ugo Carabelli, who's been playing brilliant as well. May I add, he got past him in straight sets. And now there's just one more. There's just one more standing in the way of Jesper de Jong, who does find himself in his first tour level final. Is he going to have what it takes on the day? How is he going to deal with the occasion? I'm not too sure. More importantly, how is he going to deal with Luciano Darderi? Who's looked like fucking beating this guy, man? I mean, what have you going to do? Look, the first two games, it is what it is. You know, Rafael Collignon, we expected a win. 3 sets, whatever. Elias Ymer, straight sets. Sebastian Baez came in as a dog and just made him look like a bitch, didn't he? Absolutely dusted Sebastian Baez. And then he faced off once again as a dog against one Francisco Cerundolo. And took that first set 6-2, dropped the second 6-3. Looked like the tide may have been turning. Went to a third and final deciding set tiebreaker. Sorry, I got my words mixed up there. Went to a final set tiebreaker, and he took that one too. Now, you probably don't need me to tell you, but most of the time in a situation like this, I would have said he was good enough to take out Sebastian Baez and Francisco Cerundolo in back-to-back matches on the clay is probably going to be good enough to take out a Jesper de Jong. I'm not crazy or wrong for assuming that. Anyway, getting Darderi around 1.5. 1.5. Say he's been getting him as a dog the past 2 games. We come into a final. This opened around 1.6. It's probably going to drop below 1.5, I would imagine. You're getting Jesper de Jong around 2.5, 2.6. I think Darderi is more than capable of dealing with the occasion. Let's not forget how good he was in Marrakesh earlier on in the season. He ended up taking that title. Is he going to make it another one on the clay? I wouldn't be surprised if it was. He's just looked a little bit more classy. I'd say most definitely a class above the rest so far over in Sweden. Both of them are in the final. Both of them have made it. Both of them have played as good as each other. They both deserve to be here, no doubt about that. And although I think Darderi's going to do him, it would be the way, 1.5 to 1.6 roundabout. Jesper de Jong is in the final too, and you've made it to the final. I always say you may as well just go and win it. May as well just go and win this now. But he's got one hell of a task in front of him today. If he can get past Darderi in the final on the clay, I'll be very impressed, very, very impressed. But I'll be backing the Italian to get that one done if I was having a go. And then let's wrap this shit up, because I'm sure we've all got some UFC and some stuff to watch, have we not? Of course we have. We've got Juan Manuel Cerundolo, Alexander Bublik. Yeah. What are we to do with this one? I think it's pretty easy. I think this one picks itself once again. We'll touch on Cerundolo really quick. Once again, tip of the cap to JM Cerundolo. One hell of a run that he's put on so far over Ingolstadt. Didn't expect this one. Struggled a bit. He had to go to war with Struff. Then had to go to war against David Goffin. Had to go to war against Casper Ruud. And he still come out the other side relatively unscathed. He got dealt Ignacio Busa in the semi-finals. Arguably, well, most definitely the easiest match for him so far over in Austria. I don't want to take anything away from the performance. He was a dog against Struff, I think, was he? Slightly, I don't know. He was a dog against Casper Ruud, most definitely. The performance against Casper Ruud, whether you liked it or not, let's just talk about it for what it is on paper. The win against Casper Ruud probably takes all the X factor out of such of a win against the likes of an Ignacio Busa. And shout out to the Peruvian as well, because he's been shit hot all tournaments. Been really, really pleased with what I've seen from him. Bublik, man. Alexander Bublik. It's just been easy with him all week, and I hate to use that word. I really do, but it's just been as easy as it's looked with Alexander Bublik, as it has been more often than not, pretty much every time the past couple of months. Shevchenko, we got him at a good price, around 1.5, 1.6. Come in, smoked them. Commissania, equally decent of a price. Everyone was a little bit unsure about that. Came in, just dealt with him, relative ease. Artikazo, once again, everyone was like, oh, same sort of price. Is he going to struggle in this one? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like we've mentioned all week, and more so in yesterday's video, Alexander Bublik doesn't even seem to be having to operate at the highest level, and he's blowing everyone away. He's too big. He's too strong. I think he's much more experienced. Obviously he's much more experienced, but he just holds a lot more weight on the occasion. He really does. He's beat people 50 times better, 100 times better than this Cerundolo. 100 times better. Fairly recently too. More importantly, look back to the title that he won over in Germany, before Wimbledon. Prior to Wimbledon, as we said, this was the guy to beat. Or at least one of them anyway. You look at the wins that he's got since he snapped back into form. I would be very, very surprised if he was to get upset by Juan Manuel Cerundolo. Very surprised. And I don't want to take anything away from the dog. Everyone stands a chance on the day. You've just got to turn up. And you've just got to want it more. That's it. 37 wins, 16 on the clay for the Argentine, 18-6 for Bublik. He's been one of the best. He's been one of the best prior to Wimbledon. Had a shit Wimbledon, and now we've come back onto the clay. It seems to be business as normal, does it not? I'd have to go with him. I would have to go with him once again. And look at this. We've had him at a better price than what we've had all week, and now we get to the final. He's dropping down to 1.35. Right, okay. Gotta take it. I'm surprised we didn't get a price like this a lot sooner, to be honest with you, but maybe that tells you everything. Maybe that tells you everything you need to know. I don't know, it most certainly tells you a small tale within itself. Alexander Bublik would be the way to go for me. If you've already looked at the pin comment, then you've already found out that I'm most definitely going back to the well today, folks. Going back to the well. Rinse and repeat. El Shapo. Alexander Bublik back once again. Not as good of a price as what I got it in the semis, but I'll still take it. You got to take what you can get. That's going to do us. That is most certainly going to do us for tonight and for Mexico, Sweden and in Switzerland, folks. As always, it's been an absolute fucking pleasure. You mean a lot to me. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, yeah. You take care of yourselves and you take care of one another. That's the most important thing. I will be saying good night to you. Let's go get that cash, yeah. Get that cash. Stick your notifications on, because we have got another 3 tournaments tomorrow. The grind does not stop and all that stuff. But very well. See you in a bit, yeah. Best of luck to you, folks. Let's get that cash today. I will see you all tomorrow.